Miss Barraza, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Hey, hi everyone, I'm Ms. Barraza. I've actually been working at DCSA since November of 2013, so I'm going to share a little bit about myself and my family before I actually get into my why. So I'm going to share my next screen. So here you have me at first grade on the left. I have a high school picture, not too sure when this T-bar baseball picture is, and then me and Mr. Barraza when I graduated college. So growing up, education and sports were always big in our house. We always had books everywhere and equipment throughout the house. We were always either at practice, at school, or at a game. So for me and my brothers, unfortunately, I didn't have any pictures of my brothers, but for me and my brothers, it was always expected for us to attend college. My older brother is a civil engineer, and my younger brother is a mechanical engineer, and of course, I'm a teacher. So a big part of who I am is because of these people. So these are my grandparents on the top two pictures. So this is my dad's parents, and on the right is my mom's mom, which are my grandparents. So my parents are on here on the bottom. So they're actually both retired school educators. As I go into their story wasn't easy, but their hard story is what made my life pretty easy. So my father's parents, kind of like the same as Dr. Q, they came from Mexico and Texas to search for something better, a better life for them, a better life for their families. So they had 9 children. So the people on the left had 9 children. So imagine traveling all the way from Mexico to Texas just to try and find somewhere to make a better life. My grandma on the right, she was born here in Arizona, but they moved back to Mexico. So the stories are a little bit different, also to help with a better life. So my grandfather worked until he was too sick to keep working. Remember, with 9 children, you can't just quit when you feel like it. So he kept going all the way until he was so sick that eventually he passed away. And my grandmother to the left, she kind of just worked wherever she could find a job at the time. And then you have my grandmother, same thing on the right. She worked at different factories until she was able to find a stable job at Levi's. During that time, there was never extra money to go to school. There was never a college fund for my parents. There wasn't just extra money lying around. So when they got older and old enough to work, they had to work to help provide for the home life. And so eventually my parents met, they got married, and my dad was able to graduate from college. A couple years later, unfortunately, my parents divorced, but that didn't stop my mom from going to school. So my mom went ahead and continued her strive for education. She went to college and she was able to graduate, still while raising these 3 active kids. Remember, we were always in sports, we were always in something. So she managed to still graduate despite all her setbacks. And I share this story because for my grandparents, in each case, they took different obstacles where their desire for a better life really changed the trajectory of our lives, of their grandkids, of their kids, of their great-grandkids. If they hadn't sacrificed the way they did, I don't think we'd be where we're at today. So all my aunts and uncles have been blessed with successful careers. Most of their grandchildren, I think I counted 13 out of 16 have college degrees, and the other 3 who don't are currently enrolled in school trying to get their college degree. So my why is really the resilience. So I put up the definition of what resilience means. So it's just adapting, the process of adapting well in the face of adversity. So because of their resilience, I was able to be born here. I was able to go to school. I was able to hold a job. I was able to do all these things because of their resilience, the sacrifice that my parents made and my grandparents had. So I'm going to go ahead and show this next slide. And this is my family. So in the middle, you have me and Mr. Barraza when we got married. So that was about 14 years ago. And then you have our family to the left. So you have my oldest is Christian. So that's a picture he took for us when he was stationed in Japan. The bottom left, I have Roxy, Brooklyn, Jay. On the right, I have Poppy, she's our youngest. And then the one to the bottom right is our whole family. So this is Mr. Barraza in the middle, and then all of us all together. And then I'm gonna go ahead and share this with you. So these pictures are pretty special to me as well. So a little bit about Christian. So since we're in the military, he's the one on the left. He's been to 7 schools his whole time, but this built him up to who he is today. So right now he can pick up, he can leave, he can go anywhere because he's used to that. That's the life he was used to. I have a picture of Mr. Barraza. He's actually pinning Christian because he was able to make 2nd class. So he asked him if he could do him the honor by pinning him. To the middle, again, that's all of us. And we're celebrating here. If you see that cake, Mr. Barraza, about a week or 2 ago, he picked up senior chief. So we're all here celebrating with him. And then the picture on the right is both of them together. I just thought this was a sweet picture to put together. So I'm going to share this last story with you. So last year around New Year's, I was pretty sick. I didn't know what was going on. Oh my gosh, I have a lump in my throat. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't feel well. And I didn't know when I was going to feel well. So that was pretty hard on me because usually I'm the one that gets everybody together. I get everything where it needs to be. And I'm pretty responsible and I always try and help everybody. But when you're sick, you just can't do it. The only thing is I was blessed with people surrounded with me. At the time, I didn't feel very resilient. I needed and I relied on a lot of people. So whether it was my family, my parents, my brothers, my kids really, Mr. Cross, Miss Conley, Queen, Sarah, everybody in the front office, Miss McCallum, Miss Mills, and the teachers at school, the CRTs, the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor, the 1st floor. Everybody really did a good job to check on me. I am so sorry, I have a little lump in my throat. I get emotional when I talk about this. But being resilient doesn't mean you do it alone. It means you surround yourself with people who encourage you, who help you. And being resilient doesn't mean you don't feel like giving up sometimes. Sometimes you feel like, man, this is really hard. But you keep going and you surround yourself with people who encourage you, who see the better in you, and who try and help you out in achieving your dreams. So I really thank all the people who were out there who were helping me, because I know that when you are resilient and you push on and you push forward, you can not only change the trajectory of your life, but of somebody else's. And that, my friends, is my why, the resilience of not just my family, of my parents, of my grandparents, of myself. And that's it. Thank you, friends.